All the hecklers in the front row.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lieutenant Colonel Murphy, Executive Officer for 68th Troop Command. Welcome and thank you for joining us this afternoon as we recognize the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment as they prepare for their mission to support Operation Noble Eagle. This afternoon we will bid farewell to the 1st of the 188th Air Defense Artillery. In a moment, I will ask you to stand if you are able for the entrance to the official party. Please remain standing for the national anthem played by the 188th Army Band and the Invocation by Chaplain Justin Finger. It is appropriate that during the playing of the anthem, all present except those in uniform should stand at attention, facing the flag with their right hand over their heart. Members of the armed forces will come to the position of attention, and veterans who are present and not in uniform may render the military salute, while all others should remove their headgear. Please rise. Army Band, thank you very much. That was a good rehearsal, everybody. But apparently not all are here yet, so please take your seats, visit a little bit. I was told not to start with any jokes today, and now I think I might start a little bit. Anyway, Act surprised when I do that again the next time. I got the thumbs up. Okay. Glad we're live streaming that. All right, we're ready now. Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dan Murphy, Executive Officer for 68th Troop Command, and welcome and thank you for joining us today. We gather this afternoon as we recognize the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment as they prepare for their mission to support Operation Noble Eagle. This afternoon, we will bid farewell to the 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, and in a moment, I will ask you to stand. We all rehearsed that. I will ask you to stand for the entrance to the official party. Please remain standing for the national anthem by the 188th Army Band and Chaplain Finger. And I think I explained what we're supposed to do, everyone, so I won't go through that part. But anyway, please rise. Chaplain?
That Almighty God, tomorrow we honor those Allied forces that landed in Normandy. Tomorrow we remember our fallen brothers, Sergeant Travis Van Yost and Corporal Curtis Mayer. Tomorrow we continue their stories, their memories, their values. Tomorrow we continue to shape our legacy. Tomorrow we will once again stand together. Tomorrow will be significant because we leave here with purpose, direction, and mission, and your love. Tomorrow, you, God, will be with us because you are here today and always. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce our official party. The Honorable Doug Burgum, Governor of North Dakota and Commander-in-Chief of the North Dakota National Guard. The Honorable John Hoeven, United States Senator for North Dakota. The Honorable Kevin Cramer, United States Senator for North Dakota. Major General Alan Dorman, Adjutant General, North Dakota National Guard. And Command Sergeant Major Eric Binstock, Senior Enlisted Leader, North Dakota National Guard. There are other distinguished guests that I'd like to introduce. When called, please stand to be recognized, and I ask that you hold your applause until all the introductions have been made. Joining us today are the Land Component Commander, Brigadier General Leo Ryan, North Dakota State Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Derek Heck, North Dakota National Guard Chief of Staff, Colonel John Erickson, and North Dakota Command Chief Warrant Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Rob Dorman. We are grateful to have the following organizations with us today. Thanks, Governor. I was going to do that when I was done with the next one, but thanks for starting now. All right, we are grateful to have the following organizations with us here today. The 1st of the 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment Family Readiness Group, the 188th Army Band, thank you guys for playing today, the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, the Patriot Guard and other motorcycle organizations, Fargo, Grand Forks, and East Grand Forks Chamber of Commerce, Grand Forks County Commissioners, the Grand Forks Military Affairs Committee representatives. Thanks you for joining us today. All right, today we are here to recognize the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment. Artillery in North Dakota dates back to the territorial days in 1885, when the 1st and 2nd Dakota Infantry Regiments were organized, and a small artillery battery was activated in Lisbon, North Dakota. Statehood in 1889 brought changes and additional units to the 1st North Dakota Regiment, as the artillery battery remained in Lisbon. The composition in 1898 included 8 companies of the 1st North Dakota Regiment who were activated, mobilized, and sent to the Philippine Islands to fight the Spanish and later Filipino insurgents. In 1940, 188th Field Artillery Regiment was reconstructed into the 1st Battalion, 188th Field Artillery Regiment, and the 2nd Battalion, 957th Field Artillery Regiment. And on June 11, 1944, both battalions arrived on Utah Beach. The 188th Field Artillery supported the 82nd Airborne and nearly every division through multiple offenses in northern France, Belgium, Ardennes, Central Europe, the Battle of the Bulge, and Rhineland, Germany. They fired a total of 162,000 rounds at the enemy. In 1955, most of the North Dakota National Guard units were reorganized to engineers. On October 1st, 1988, the 1st of the 188th was reorganized as an Air Defense Artillery Regiment. The attacks on 9/11 would significantly affect the battalion for years to come. 100 soldiers from Fox Battery were activated in 2004 and later deployed to Iraq in 2005 in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. In late 2005, Fox and Echo batteries ended their brigade affiliations and reverted back to Bravo and Alpha batteries, respectively, while Charlie Battery relocated to Fargo. By year's end, 40 soldiers from the Joint Land Attack, Cruise, Missile Defense, Elevated, Netted Sensor System, otherwise known as JLINS, and the Rapid Aerostat Initial Deployment, also known as RAID 1, had been activated along with 150 soldiers from Alpha Battery. Both batteries spent 2006 in Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. In late 2006, RAID 2, made up of 40 soldiers, was activated and replaced JLIN's team in Afghanistan. During this time, battalion restructuring had transitioned Delta Battery into a maintenance unit. Another 40 soldiers, known as RAID 3, were activated in 2008 and spent 2009 in Afghanistan. 100 soldiers from Bravo and Charlie batteries merged into the Kosovo Forces mission with Charlie Company in 2009 in support of a maneuver task force until mid-2010. Raid Sentinel 4 activated 70 soldiers in late 2009, replacing Raid 3 in Afghanistan while serving as a radar unit in Iraq. In April 2011, Raid Sentinel 4 was released from active duty, and the 188th ADA became a complete battalion once again for the first time since 1998. In early 2013, the battalion was mobilized to Washington, D.C. for a year-long deployment, providing integrated air defense of the National Capital Region. In March 2017, the 1st of the 188th Regiment was again mobilized to the National Capital Region to provide integrated air defense of the National Capital Region. These soldiers sitting before us today will leave soon for the battalion's 3rd rotation in the National Capital Region. At this time, I would like to invite the Governor and the North Dakota National Guard Commander-in-Chief to share a few words. Welcome, Governor Burgum.
Good afternoon. It's truly an honor to serve as Governor of North Dakota, and as Senator Hoeven knows well, as was stated, one of the greatest honors of being governor is the opportunity to serve as Commander-in-Chief of the incredible men and women who serve in the North Dakota National Guard as soldiers and airmen. And I know that we're grateful for a lot of things in this nation, in our country, and I would just take a moment this afternoon and say I'm grateful that it was an American that invented air conditioning. And that I want to thank General Dorman for not hosting this event outside in the sun. So we are grateful for that. But as we gather here today to send off these 225 brave and capable soldiers, let us begin by remembering why we are here and why this mission matters and why Operation Noble Eagle even exists. Operation Noble Eagle began on September 12th, 2001, less than 24 hours after the terrorist attacks against our country, both in New York City and Washington, D.C. And we know that in a few months, this fall, we'll be honoring and remembering those over 3,000 citizens who died in those attacks. And of course, there would have been more that would have died if not for those brave citizens who gave their lives on Flight 93 to prevent that United Airlines flight from being flown into our nation's capital, just as the terrorists had with both trade towers and with the Pentagon. The North Dakota National Guard and Air Guard was ready 20 years ago and answered the call that day on 9/11 and still answering the call today. And it's out of a sense of duty and a sense of patriotism. There may be even some of you in this room who after 9/11 decided that it was your time to enlist and your time to serve our country. My own father, who passed away when I was 14, but who lives on in our family's hearts, would salute all of you. He was part of a generation that after Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941 had the same effect. He went down the road from our hometown of Arthur and went to the gym at Castleton and enlisted in the Navy. And he was ended up being deployed on a destroyer in the Pacific and was away from North Dakota and separated from my mom for almost 2.5 years. We'll never forget Pearl Harbor. We'll never forget D-Day, which we celebrate and honor tomorrow. And we will certainly never forget 9/11. Each of us remember where we were on that fateful day and what it meant to our country. And we know that none of you in this room have forgotten either. And that's what brings us here today. America matters more today to this world than it ever has. And the important mission of protecting our country lives on. And so to start off today, let's give it up for those 225 people that are deploying. And if you could stand up, all of you. Those that are being deployed. Let me also say that again, as we hold these events, we do this with the deepest gratitude for the family members that are here today to support our soldiers. Every soldier that is being deployed today, we know for a fact that that individual is somebody's son or someone's daughter. They're someone's grandson or someone's granddaughter. And certainly looking around the room and listening to all the wonderful next generation North Dakotans that are coming up, which is a delight to see, can also see that many of you are your brothers, your sisters, and importantly, you've got a spouse or a significant other, and you're a mom or a dad. And we know that when our soldiers serve, the entire family serves, especially the spouses and the kids. They also serve as well, and this family support is important, it's essential, and it's necessary to the success of the mission. So if you could, we enumerated during the introductions all the great support organizations that are here, but to those family members and the support organizations, let's give it up for each and every one of them for supporting this deployment. The North Dakota National Guard and the North Dakota Air Guard, these are high-performing organizations, and they don't exist without great leadership. We acknowledge some of them today, but I want to also give a shout out. It's such an honor for me to have an opportunity to work with Adjutant General Major General Dorman, who will be sharing a few words today, and his team. They're doing a fantastic job, but also a shout out to Unit Commander Lieutenant Colonel Waylon Van Nerden and Senior Enlisted Soldier Command Sergeant Major Russ Garrett. We're just so fortunate to have people that have dedicated their careers and serve in leadership positions. And though it's been nearly 3 years, it seems almost like yesterday that we were all here together, welcoming home more than 200 members from the 1st Battalion of the 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment. Everyone made it home safely from that deployment, and we fully expect and are totally confident for the same result this time around. And very fortunately for the soldiers that are here today, they have much more than hope to see them through, because the 1st of the 188th ADA is one of the best trained and most professional National Guard units in the nation. You heard about the deep history of this group in our nation going back to the beginning of statehood, and certainly served with distinction during World War II. But it's been a proud tradition since then. Since 9/11, the 188th has been the most deployed unit in North Dakota National Guard, this being the 12th deployment since 2004. That's remarkable. And I had a question I didn't get to ask General Dorman before, so I'll just ask him right now. But since this is the 12th deployment for these folks, are they going to now be known as the Dirty Dozen? Well, for some of you that have been deployed before, this may be familiar territory, but we know that a day like today is a day of mixed emotions. It's a day of sort of like graduation because of all the training and preparation that's gone on, but it's also a day of laughter and tears and some goodbyes and see you soon or see you later and well wishes for a safe return. And we know that with all these farewells, we know that the spouses and the parents and the brothers and sisters, they'll promise to you, soldiers, that they won't worry too much, but they will. Children will maybe promise to be good boys and girls, and they might be some of the time, if they're anything like my 3 kids. But if they're not, that's okay, because we've got an entire National Guard family and a caring communities in the communities that you're from that will help through the challenges that come with the challenges and the separation that come with deployment. The National Guard family in those communities will be filled with pride knowing that the 225 men and women in uniform here today that are deploying will make our nation's capital a safer place for those during the next year. And we're deeply grateful for the important work of these support organizations, the Guard leadership, and each of you that volunteer to support families and children during these employments, and we thank you. This is the 3rd time this unit has been on this important mission, and there isn't another unit in the country that I'd rather have protecting our nation's capital and the leaders from all over the nation who work there. And some of the key people that work there are here on the stage with me today, and I want to also just say thank you to Senator Hoeven, Senator Cramer. These guys don't just say the words about supporting the military, they do the work. They both have fought for and have gotten themselves on key positions of power and influence on committees in Washington, D.C. Other senators avoid these positions. These guys fought for them and got them. And they're there every day working hard. And along with our Congressman Kelly Armstrong, we're so fortunate because we have a team in North Dakota, a congressional delegation that works along with our legislature and with Lieutenant Governor Brent Sanford and myself. And we have a shared vision that leadership in Washington here in the state, and that's to make North Dakota the most military-friendly and most military-supportive place to work and be in the military and raise a family. And so I just want to thank, you're going to be there protecting these guys in their important work, but let's give them a big round of applause for everything they do to fight for the military. Well, you know where you're going. It's our nation's capital, and you know why it's important. And you know that you're following in the footsteps of a long line of men and women who have sacrificed for their state and their country. And you honor them by carrying on the state's rich legacy of protecting the ideals, our borders, and the citizens of the United States. Many of you come from military families. You've got uncles and aunts and fathers and grandfathers that have served in the military. And if we have any retired military veterans that are here today, we'd love to have you stand and say thank you. So let's have our veterans stand and give it up for all of our veterans. Veterans, please, if you're here. And just as our nation has come to rely upon the North Dakota National Guard for critical missions both at home and abroad, so too has our state turned to our Guard members time and again. And most recently, we saw this in the last 18 months as we were fighting against a global pandemic. The Guard members played a critical role right from the get-go, whether it was in testing or vaccination efforts. The largest and longest mobilization in North Dakota history, over 100,000 personnel days were logged during the fight against COVID-19. So whether it's spring floods that devastated communities like here in Grand Forks or Minot, floods in Fargo and the West Fargo area, fall floods, now pandemics, and now, right now in 2021, as if we didn't have enough emergencies in the last 4 years, we are in the worst drought wildfire season in memory. There have been over 1,000 wildfires in North Dakota. They've burned over 100,000 acres. But again, the North Dakota National Guard, this time flying Blackhawks out of Bismarck with firefighting equipment, literally saved the entire town of Medora after the town had been evacuated. So whenever and however you, the North Dakota National Guard, with a slogan that is more than a slogan, it is the reality to the citizens of this state. And on behalf of all of those citizens, I want to say thank you, because the slogan of being always ready, always there, answering the call of duty to protect our citizens and our freedoms with exceptional service and professionalism, we have no doubt is that you head to Washington, D.C., you will make our state proud again during this deployment. In closing, I want to just say again, greetings from the Lieutenant Governor and also from the First Lady. The First Lady would be here today, but today is her birthday. And she's spending the day with her 86-year-old father, but she sends her greetings to all of you and to all the families. But I want to thank everybody in the room, veterans, members of the 188th and others that are serving in the North Dakota National Guard that aren't deploying, and all the families. We thank you for your service to our state and our country. We will keep you and your families in our thoughts and prayers until you return and long after. We're grateful for all that you do for the state of North Dakota. And in North Dakota, we have so many blessings, from our rich soil to our amazing natural resources. As Americans, we have so many blessings, whether it's freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, freedom of religion, things that were fought for coming up on nearly 250 years ago that created our great country. And our state has been blessed, and our country has been blessed. And I want to say to each of you, may God bless each of you and your families as He continues to bless North Dakota and the United States of America. Thank you, and Godspeed on your mission.
Thank you, Governor, for your remarks. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Senator Hoeven to share a few words. Senator.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Lieutenant Colonel Murphy. You are an outstanding MC. I can tell you've done it before. Great to be here. Great to be here with our fantastic governor, Governor Burgum. Of course, as the governor said, I'm very fortunate to be able to work with two great individuals, not only Kelly Armstrong, our representative, but certainly Senator Cramer. And just can't say how much I appreciate the working relationship. And the committees, just to show how Kevin thinks about things, I'm on defense appropriations, so we fund the military. And it's a very hard committee to get on. And it's not that people don't want to serve on it. They all want to serve on it. It's just hard to get on. But then Kevin's on armed services. So we have both sides of the equation, the funding and the authorizing side. But Kevin coming in purposely did that, knowing I was on the defense appropriate side. He got on armed service. First senator, I think, from North Dakota to be on armed services. And everybody wants to get on that one, too. So that is about supporting you guys. And nobody deserves it more. That's for sure. And then General Dorman, we like him. He's got such a good, don't you think he's got a great sense of humor? So no matter whatever joke, the governor cracks, and that was pretty good, the Dirty Dozen, that was great. Was that staff, or did you come up with that one? Yeah. Pretty good. Dorman's going to have a better joke. He's going to outdo me. He always does. Kevin's pretty good too, so I don't know, maybe you can put one up there, but he's also a great leader, and we love him. And Command Sergeant Major Binstock, thank you for your strong leadership as well, and Chaplain Finger, thank you for the invocation. How about that 188th Army Band? Are they good or what, huh? I love those guys. I tell you, I like brass anyway, but I just think they do a great job on all the military tunes and add a lot to our events, our send-offs, or my favorites, our welcome homes, right? That's the ones I really like. Now, I know we had some applause for these 225 American heroes that are heading off to defend the nation's capital. But now I want to really hear it. Let's show them some serious love for the 188th. Come on. How do we feel about them? Yeah, some love. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's some real. That's how we really feel. None of this applause. That's tell you what. When you head off to put the uniform on and serve our nation, there's no amount of thanks that gets it covered or that is enough. I can't. Probably General Dorman knows, or even Lieutenant Colonel Murphy. Maybe I don't even know how many send-offs we've had since 9/11. I remember the first one was the 957 Multi-Role Bridge Company, and they went to Iran, or to Iraq, excuse me, and some of them, made that ultimate sacrifice. And we've had others since, and we can never, ever take that for granted. This unit, 12th deployment, just unbelievable. 3rd deployment over our nation's capital. And, that makes perfect sense, right? On 9/11, who was flying combat air patrol over the nation's capital on 9/11? The North Dakota Air Guard, the Happy Hooligans, were flying cover air patrol on 9/11. The ADA, this is their 3rd deployment. And I was over, I think, in Afghanistan with ADA on one of my travels during governor's years. But, it makes perfect sense. I mean, if you were in Washington, D.C., wouldn't you want the hooligans flying over when you needed air guard? And wouldn't you want the North Dakota Air Defense Artillery, the North Dakota Army National Guard there defending you year in and year out? I mean, when you need defense, don't you want the best? Yes, that's why we keep going back. We have the best. North Dakota National Guard is the best in the country, hands down. No questions about it. And if you weren't, they wouldn't keep asking you back, right? The ones that don't do so red hot, they don't get back quite so often, right? Okay. One other thing that I'm going to kind of wrap up here. Well, I guess kind of two. One is I saw those Blackhawks when I got here on the out at the airport. And they're beautiful. I love Blackhawks. Kevin and I were talking. We like Blackhawks. They're just they're kind of our favorite. When I started as governor, we were flying Hueys. A Huey could pick up, had a bucket, which you dip down to fight forest fires, and that thing could carry about 160 gallons to fight a fire. And then we got the Blackhawks, and with the dump buckets they have now, it's 640 gallons they can. And thank goodness, because otherwise the town of Medora would have burned down this year, right? Gov, if they hadn't got there, if the North Dakota National Guard hadn't got there, it very likely would have burned the town of Medora. And more than once when we were fighting floods over here in the valley, including in Fargo, if your National Guard, you guys had not developed the 1-ton sandbag, where when you get a breach in the dike, they come in and they put a 1-ton sandbag down, very likely would have had more areas flooded very severely in Fargo and up and down the valley. Maybe here in Grand Forks, although of course you were ahead in terms of the flood protection. So that's what they do, and that's what they do every day. And I just got here just before the ceremony started because I was over in Minot. And the reason I was in Minot today is that a fellow by the name of Lynn Oz, who fought at the Battle of the Bulge, just turned 100 years old yesterday. So they had a big birthday party for him today. Kevin and I did a resolution on the Senate floor for him. But he's a lifelong North Dakotan, turned 100 years old today. He's part of America's greatest generation, fought in World War II at the Battle of the Bulge. And when I look out at you, I see the very same thing, the very same greatness. Thank you. God bless you. We will pray for you every day you are gone, and we look forward to a big welcome back. God bless you, God bless the state of North Dakota, and God bless the United States of America. Thanks for turning out today, all of you.
Thank you, Senator Hoeven. I appreciate those comments. Senator Cramer, please join us.
Thank you. Thank you. Between the big voice of the MC and the head cheerleader and John Hoeven, I feel like I'm at a Hawks hockey game or something. That's pretty good stuff. Just a little bit of advice for those of you that are going to the capital region who have never been there. When it's 100 degrees there, it's not a dry heat. It's really sweaty, isn't it, Senator? It's really sweaty. Great to be with your Commander-in-Chief, Governor Burgum, twice this week. I'm especially blessed this week. But great to see all of you. First of all, to the families, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your loved one in such an incredible, sacrificial way. To the employers, obviously, it'd be impossible without you. And the patriotism of our state is reflected in the fact that we sign up, 4 times the national average. But that's possible because of the support of employers and family members. So thank you all. You know, John Hoeven and I are quite familiar with Operation Noble Eagle. We were deployed for those previous 2 as well to the capital region, and will be again. We've had the classified briefings. We know where everything is. We know the type of weapons systems that your loved ones will be handling and responsible for. In fact, John, I would dare say that you and I may know more than any one of the other 533 members of Congress about this mission. I suspect we do. None of them know more, for sure. I'm quite certain none of the 9 Supreme Court justices of the United States know a thing about it. And I'm going to be careful not to share any classified information, I assure you. I'm pretty sure the President and the Vice President, nor frankly, as weird as it might seem, do most of the people working in the Pentagon. One thing's for sure, they don't need to know, and they're not going to worry about it. They're not going to worry about it. I was thinking about this mission, and I was driving up here, I was actually thinking about some of the classified things we've seen, some of the exercises that we've witnessed, some of the rooftops we've been on. And I thought, you know what's sort of cool is now, because I know all of this, I sleep better when the 188th is there. It's not that I don't trust the other guys. I just know for sure we're in good hands with the 188th there. We know that the skies are protected. But here's what the others have. The others have faith. And I thought about the definition of faith. The writer of Hebrews in the 11th chapter, the first verse, writes this little transition from the first 10 to the last 2. And he defines faith rather specifically. He said, faith is confidence in that which you hope for, and assurances in that which you do not see. That's what the other 533 members of Congress, the 9 Supreme Court justices, the president, the vice president, and all of the people in the Pentagon have. They have faith because they have confidence in what they hope for, that is to say a peaceful sky, and assurance of what they can't see, and that's the 225 soldiers of the 188th. And so please don't mistake our lack of seeing you for a lack of gratitude, because at least 2 of us know right where you are. And actually, John, what's really fun is when they get there, and don't worry, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, sons and daughters, spouses, while we know they have our backs, we'll have theirs. We'll have theirs. And we might throw a party or 2 in one of those big, nice, ornate rooms in the Capitol hardly anybody uses anymore. But that's another whole story. And then let me just add my thanks to all of you and to everybody, General Dorman, everybody that you represent today, that these men and women represent today, for the incredible work in the last year that the governor and the senator have already talked about. You know, one of the things, contrary to this mission, the work being done during particularly the COVID testing and the logistical support, in fact, it wasn't support. Without, let's just face it, without the Guard governor, you wouldn't have looked nearly as good. But you made him look really good. Because there you were, lining everybody up, getting them through the lines, putting up the temporary hospitals we hoped we'd never need and didn't. And forgive us for not saying thank you. But today, consider this, if nothing else, consider this that thank you as well. You were seen, you were noticed, you're appreciated, and you're loved. God bless you. We'll see you in Washington. And for those of you family members who've never been there, you know, make it a point to visit. John's got at least 1 extra bed. And I've got a couch. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cramer. And thanks for keeping it unclassified as well, sir. Appreciate that. We are live streaming this, by the way. All right. General Dorman, the podium is yours for your comments, sir.
All right, I'm going to try to get my energy level up. I was hoping for a big crowd today, so I'm a little disappointed with the turnout. Guys, this is fantastic. And I think only in North Dakota, after 20 years of sending soldiers and airmen off to war, would you see this kind of turnout for a unit deploying to our national capital region to protect the seat of our government. But just fills me with joy to see more chairs being brought in, to hear children's voices in the audience, something we haven't heard in a while. But just to see the turnout, I can speak for the entire National Guard. We appreciate it, that you're willing to come out and share this day with us. Yeah, it's quite a build-up there. I don't have any jokes. I would tell Senator Hoeven, though, do not encourage Lieutenant Colonel Murphy. Be careful what you ask for. You might get it. But what a great day. Frankly, a great day to be inside. But gratitude to share the stage with these gentlemen. We are really blessed as a state. We've already highlighted some of the things our senators do for us, but to have a commander-in-chief and a congressional delegation that truly understands the Guard, and I'm telling you, fights every day to make sure we have the facilities, the equipment, the dollars to train, to make sure that we follow that motto that the governor mentioned, always ready, always there. But I can tell you, every day they are working to make our military stronger and are working to make our guards stronger. I was telling them, I usually don't highlight this because they often arrive in SUVs. I arrived in a Black Hawk helicopter. So that doesn't seem right. Maybe to some, seems fine to me. But I flew in our newest Mike model with the fancy new cockpit. The first Black Hawk I could ever fly because it actually has autopilot. I've been in a simulator. I can fly them. I can't take off or land them. And I've been told those are two critical components of the whole thing. But now I'm pretty sure I could fly them because I just got to flip a switch, right, Colonel Helton? Yeah, you guys, yeah, they always try to make it seem like it's harder because they don't want to give me any stick time. But the new Mike model is an incredible helicopter. And I just got to thank the senators because for years the Guard has fought to get equipment at the same time the active component gets it to do these critical missions, not just overseas, but here at home, as already been highlighted with the fire response. So it's paying off all your efforts, but just an incredible aircraft. I wish you could see it, but I got to leave really quick after this, so probably won't have time. Probably won't have time for that. Just some gratitude today. There's nothing left to be said, but part of my job is to give unremarkable speeches that you will forget as soon as the event is over. So I will repeat everything that's been said, but I do want to add my gratitude to the community leaders, our employers. Do we have any ESGR reps here? Raise your hand. Well, they're here in spirit, but we can't do it without our employers and our community leaders. And I am so impressed with the community of Grand Forks. During the pandemic, there was, without peer, what the city and county of Grand Forks did, along with UND, along with Altru Hospital, working together with the Department of Health and the National Guard to protect lives and livelihoods here in Grand Forks County. Just an incredible group of patriotic citizens here in Grand Forks that support our military. And for our employers, I always tell them, even if you have never put on a uniform, you serve your country and you protect our security by employing a guardsman. You serve right alongside us, so thank you to our employers. Thank you to all our community leaders. To our families, you too serve right alongside us. Protect our national security every day by supporting your guardsmen. And I know from personal experiences the challenges you will face. And I know what you're thinking, what does he really know about this? So I'll tell you. I deployed to Kosovo in 2004 and 5, and when I came home, I told my wife, I will take care of all the kids' activities. At the time, I had 3 under the age of 6. I will take care of all the kids' activities for 30 days. That is the most exhausting 30 days of my life. And then I did some quick math, and from 2001 to 2010, my wife was in that same position for 3 years. I was gone for 3 years during that 9 or 10 year period of time. So I know the challenge that's ahead of you. Again, I thank you for your service and what you do to support our military and our National Guard. I would just commit to all of you, support one another, lean on family and friends, and lean on your Guard family. Your soldiers are going off to do an active duty mission, but they are still part of the National Guard family. You are still part of the National Guard family. So reach out if you need anything. We will be here for you. For the soldiers, 12 send-offs we have done for the 1st, the 188th ADA, 3 to the National Capital Region. But whether this is your 1st or your 5th deployment, there is no doubt in my mind you are ready. Trust in your leadership. Lieutenant Colonel Van Erden and Sergeant Major Garrett, 7 deployments between them. They've both been in the National Capital Region. They know what they're doing. You have a great command team. Trust in them and your command team on down the line, and you will get through the mission. Trust and respect one another. You have an incredible opportunity here. I was told the average age is 27, 28. It's a fairly young group going out the door. I know a lot of you, this is your first deployment, but trust in each other, respect one another, and know that you are ready. In fact, I remember Colonel Murphy, before him and I went to Kosovo my second time, he said, "Sir, do you ever feel like you're not ready, you're not prepared?" And I said, "All the time." And that's not a bad thing. That'll help you stay curious. What don't you know? What do I need to find out? How can I do my job better? But know that the training you have gone through has absolutely prepared you for this deployment. Take this opportunity to make yourselves better. Professional military education, if you have the opportunity, I'm probably still in the Sergeant Major's thunder, but hey, there's hardly anything left for me to say. Why should I leave anything for you? I know what you're thinking, yet he talked for 5 or 10 minutes. But anyway, you'll have some opportunities. Self-development. I've had 2 long deployments. I have read more books in those 2 long deployments than I ever have at any other time in my life. But take the opportunity for self-improvement. Take time to strengthen your body. You all have probably been through the ACFT, Army Combat Fitness Test. But great opportunity in deployment to improve your fitness. And come back better. Come back a better soldier, a better brother, sister, husband, wife, uncle, friend. Take advantage of this opportunity. You have important work ahead of you, protecting the seat of our democracy and the symbol of liberty and hope for people around the world. An important job that has been entrusted to you. I can't think of a more important mission. I can't imagine a more capable unit to execute that mission. Good luck. It is my honor to serve alongside you, each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, General Dorman, for your comments. Now I invite our senior enlisted leader, Command Sergeant Major Eric Binstock, for his remarks.
Something left. Good afternoon, 1st to the 188th. Welcome, and thank you for allowing me to be part of the send-off. Governor Burgum, Senator Hoeven, Senator Cramer, General Dorman, soldiers, families, friends, and guests, it's an honor to be here with you today. And I do have a few things left to say that I think they didn't talk about, so we'll get there. Serving the state of North Dakota and our great nation has been a part of this battalion's history. From annual flood and wildfire response, deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, multiple responses to our nation's capital, and most recent COVID pandemic response. During this time, this battalion has successfully represented itself, the state of North Dakota, and the United States Army. That is a direct reflection of you all sitting in this room. Your professionalism, dedication, hard work, and commitment to success, along with the great leadership and exceptional soldiers, make this battalion stand out among the best. This past year has been filled with many obstacles. It had challenged our National Guard, but the highlight of this trying time is the great job our soldiers and airmen continued to do. I could not be more proud of the soldiers and airmen of this organization and the amazing job you are doing. The exceptional professionalism that you all display while continually doing such an outstanding job managing both your military and civilian careers. For this outstanding display of professionalism, I'd like to publicly recognize deserving soldiers by presenting a coin to 2 soldiers who continually exemplify professionalism. This coin that I'll be presenting today, it's the North Dakota Senior Enlisted Leader coin, and it was created with much help from Major Matt Bowler. Thank you. It's awarded to outstanding soldiers and airmen of the North Dakota National Guard for excellence. It's designed in the shape of a buffalo to represent North Dakota. The front of the coin, it's the North Dakota flag with the rank and insignia of a command sergeant major, and a Chief Master Sergeant. The words, North Dakota National Guard Senior Enlisted Leader awarded for excellence. It has both the Army and the Air rank insignias on it because the Senior Enlisted Leader position is a joint position, and it can be held by either a Command Sergeant Major from the Army National Guard or a Command Chief Master Sergeant from the Air National Guard. On the back of this coin is the United States flag with the words, always ready, always there. It has the North Dakota Army National Guard and Air National Guard shoulder patches that bookmark a symbol of a Minuteman. This Minuteman represents early American militiamen who lowered their plows, raised their rifles, and stepped forward in battle as America's National Guard and our country's oldest military force. So, the first coin will be awarded to an NCO who lives his life, both military and civilian, marching to the Army values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. His character is never in question, and he is a true professional, determined to accomplish the mission and look after the welfare of other soldiers. It is no surprise that he also serves as a police officer when he's not wearing this military uniform. The second coin will be awarded to an enlisted member who exemplifies the soldier's creed and embraces the warrior ethos. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit, and I will never leave a fallen comrade. A former active duty soldier who joined the ranks of the North Dakota Army National Guard, he volunteered to respond to COVID pandemic fight and instantly amazed senior leaders for his character, dedicated service, and professionalism. So now that the suspense is built, at this time, would First Sergeant David Sari and Specialist Gage Beal please come forward to receive these coins. I'd like to thank the families and friends in attendance today. It is your continued support that allows our soldiers and airmen to accomplish their mission. When our soldiers deploy, it's not just the soldier, but the entire families who deploy. Families are the ones taking care of the daily duties at home, ensuring life seamlessly moves forward. It's just as important to support our families as it is to support our deploying soldiers. And this all begins with the Family Readiness Group. I encourage family members to stay connected and to reach out if you may need anything. We have an amazing support staff and many resources that are available. To the soldiers deploying, you are all trained and ready for this mission. Please stay focused and stay resilient. Always remember, you're representing the United States military, the great state of North Dakota, the North Dakota Army National Guard, but never forget, most importantly, you're representing your families and yourselves. So please take care and look after each other. In closing, I want to again thank the families for their commitment and support. And to the soldiers, I wish you well and a safe and speedy return. God bless.
Thank you, Sergeant Major Binstock. At this time, I'd like to invite Miss Mary Christie, representing Congressman Armstrong, to share a few words.
Good afternoon. I will keep this brief because I know y'all want to soak in as much love and cuddles with your little ones and families and parents and friends as possible. Thank you for inviting me to your ceremony today. This is from Congressman Armstrong. I regret I am unable to be with you and your families as you prepare to mobilize to the National Capital Region in support of Operation Noble Eagle. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude for your service and willingness to answer the call of duty for our great country. The strength of the North Dakota National Guard lies with our dedicated service members who defend our communities, our state, our country. I have the utmost admiration for the men and women who uphold this proud tradition in any branch of our United States military. The strong leadership and teamwork skills you have learned and refined during your training will serve you well and reach far beyond this deployment. It is with the highest regard for our soldiers that Kirsty and I thank you for your commitment to our nation and send our best wishes for this mission. God bless. Kelly.
Thanks again, ma'am. At this time, I'd like to call upon the Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Waylon Van Erden, and the Battalion Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Russ Garrett, to address the audience.
Thank you, Murph. Governor Burgum, Senator Hoeven, Senator Cramer, General Dorman, Command Sergeant Major Binstock, distinguished guests, senior members of the Joint Staff, soldiers, family members, employers. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Waylon Van Erden, commander of the 1st of the 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, North Dakota Army National Guard. First, I would like to thank all the soldiers of the unit that volunteered last year when we were activated in support of the North Dakota's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We led that support mission for 45 days, partnering with our state and local agencies, communities, and businesses. Many of these soldiers expressed to me that this was the most significant mission that they were ever a part of since joining the National Guard. Thank you. We had many of our soldiers continue to volunteer on that mission until recently when we started our pre-deployment active duty. We thank our families and employers for their support during that time. I also want to show gratitude for all the leaders in our unit. We have many. I would also like to recognize our veterans. We have many veterans in our unit that have deployed multiple times to multiple places. We have many new soldiers also, many new soldiers that just returned from basic combat training and advanced individual training that are joining this unit. Some soldiers just last week learned that they're coming on this mission. We completed our pre-deployment training at Camp Grafton Training Center, 2 weeks of annual training called Exercise America's Shield. It went very well. It was highly successful. In a first, we completed our Fire Distribution Center training and our National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile training right there in Camp Grafton prior to the deployment. Now, what this means is additional time at home with family members prior to going on active duty for that mobilization. We will be the first short-range air defense artillery unit to deploy to the National Capital Region for up to a year, boots on the ground. The 1st of the 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment has a strong reputation for professionalism and excellence, so naturally we were chosen to lead the way. Whoa. Now we do recognize the 88 does deploy a lot. Upon return from this mission, potential year-long mission, that will extend our dwell time from 3 years to 5 years. So what that means for families and for our employers is an additional 2 years of dwell time for the next NCR mission, and so that's a really good thing. Another piece of good news is the Army is adding additional short-range air defense artillery battalions
to its ranks, and that means less potential mobilizations and mission requirements for us to reduce our deployment frequency. Now, every one of our soldiers plays a critical role inside of each of our teams. Everyone has to know their job and do their job well, become a subject matter expert. We have a next soldier mentality, a next soldier up mentality. We have strong teams, sections, platoons, and batteries working together, and we will accomplish our critical mission as part of the integrated air defense system in the National Capital Region. 9/11 was 20 years ago, but we cannot afford to be complacent. Many of our soldiers will pass by a piece of the World Trade Center as they enter the Joint Air Defense Operations Center to remind them of the magnitude of this mission. We must hone our skills, be professional, and be ready, and remain forever vigilant. Forever vigilant is our regimental motto. We could not do any of this without our families, our spouses, our siblings, our parents, our children, and our friends. We recognize you for your support and your sacrifices as you step up through multiple roles while we're away. We look forward to the great opportunities for special passes where you can come out and visit your soldier in Washington, D.C., or maybe your soldier can come visit you at home. If you are a family member and this is your first deployment, make sure you know how to reach out and get those resources, support, and assistance that you may need. We have a great family readiness group already set up, and we invite all family members to join their group, stay connected, and volunteer if you would like. We also have a great Facebook page and Instagram page set up for the unit, and we also have support pages set up specifically for our families. So make sure you go to that 1st and 188th Facebook page and Instagram page and like it, because we need to get to 2,000 likes. Right, XO? All right. So remember, stateside deployments can be tougher than overseas deployments. So families, make sure that you're communicating with your soldiers. Soldiers love care packages. Mail, send it to them. Use mail, phone, video chat, instant messenger, social media, gaming platforms, whatever you can do to stay in touch with your soldier. We also could not do this without our employers supporting us. We recognize the sacrifices of many of our employers across the great state of North Dakota and the entire upper Midwest. We have soldiers that are driving in from Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and some even flying in from Washington, D.C., Denver, Colorado, and Florida. Drill weekends, 2-week annual training periods, or year-long deployments, our employers are there looking out for us, giving us days off, covering for us while we're gone, paying for us while we're gone, promoting us, and holding our spot for when we return to work. We cannot thank them enough for all the great things that they do for us. Many of our soldiers do recognize their employers through employer support of the Guard and Reserve, My Boss is a Patriot program, and our employers truly are patriots. Finally, I could not be prouder of this entire battalion, all the soldiers in this battalion. We continue to transform the culture of the Air Defense Artillery in North Dakota into a lethal team of respected professionals focused on mission accomplishment, taking care of soldiers, families, and employers. I have no doubt this is the finest unit I will ever be a part of, and we thank everyone for attending today's ceremony to show your support. We look forward to this deployment and our swift return to our communities, employers, and families. Thank you. First to fire. Quickly introduce my right-hand man, Sergeant Major Russ Garrett.
Thanks, sir. Good afternoon, Governor Burgum, Senator Hoeven, Senator Cramer, General Dorman, Sergeant Major Binstock, and senior members of the Joint Staff, veterans, soldiers, and family members. I'm Command Sergeant Major Russell Garrett of the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment. The 1st and 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment has been training nearly a year to reach this point. Military occupational specialty training, specialty training for specific systems, and building ourselves physically and mentally to be ready for the long mobilization away from home has been our focus since we began this process. Some of us have done this before, whether it was to a combat theater or to a mission right here in the continental United States, or both. Each trip is different and brings new experiences. The COVID-19 virus has posed some unique challenges for our training and how we conduct it. We're confident we've done whatever we can to mitigate everything to that point. We are able to train and be ready for the challenges to come, regardless. That is the spirit of our soldiers and the Air Defense Artillery as a whole. We know what we have to do, and we get the job done. The soldiers, your soldiers of the 188th, have met and exceeded standards for tasks that we've trained. We have soldiers with over 35 years of experience, and as the Colonel said, some that just got out of basic training and advanced individual training. Last month, many of those new soldiers received a crash course in our current mission for Operation Noble Eagle. Now that they're ready to take on the challenges we will face during our culminating event in Fort Bliss, Texas, then move on to the National Capital Region to do it for real. As a command team, we are extremely confident in the success of this mission and our soldiers' ability to navigate through the challenges before us. Obviously, our biggest focus has been the mission, but our soldiers and their families are of utmost importance to us. We are very happy to have all of you here today to share in this send-off with us. The support a soldier has at home directly affects how the soldier executes the mission. The less the soldier has to worry about at home, because he or she has that support, the better they can focus on tasks they need to accomplish in whatever theater. I thank all the family and friends here for supporting your soldier. It means more than you could possibly know. We all have goals when we deploy. Some of them are personal goals, like saving money, paying off debts, completing some education, and increasing physical fitness. The main goal for us as a unit is successfully do the job we came here to do and leave the NCR better than we found it. First, the 188th has a habit of doing that. Many people have told us that. And it's a breath of fresh air when we show up for that mission. And we plan to keep that reputation. Aside from the many fun opportunities presented by this mission and location, we will continue to train and be ready for the next one while remaining successful on this one. This is one of the most important enduring missions that the U.S. Army has, and it has been entrusted to us. Failure is not an option. We have outstanding non-commissioned officers, warrant officers, and commissioned officers to lead and mentor our teams to success. I want to thank all of the North Dakota Army National Guard leadership for the opportunity to go in this capacity and for the support we received throughout the last year of our train-up. It has been an outstanding experience to train with these soldiers and prepare for this mission. Speaking of these soldiers, thank you for the time and effort you've put into the training that we've completed. It is a lot of time away from family and loved ones to prepare for this. What you've done to this point is going to make the rest of the mobilization successful. I'm looking forward to moving forward with you and getting this one underway. Thank you, and first to fire.
What a great command team. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Vander and Command Sergeant Major Garrett. Please remain on stage. Governor Burgum, Major General Dorman, and Command Sergeant Major Binstock will continue the time-honored tradition of presenting the North Dakota state flag to every deploying unit's command team. Governor Burgum and Major General Dorman, as well as Command Sergeant Major Binstock, will now present the state flag to the battalion commander and the battalion command sergeant major. Another tradition is a presentation of the United States flag. Senator Hoeven, Senator Cramer, and Miss Christie, I invite you forward for this to continue on this tradition.
That flag's flown over the nation's capital in honor of these brave soldiers, the very capital that they will defend, and we look forward to when they come back here for a big welcome home with that flag. God bless, guys.
At this time, I would also like to call the North Dakota Patriot Guard Assistant State Captain Bruce Burgess for a presentation. Bruce? Do you need some walk-up music, Bruce? Okay.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to the 188th and your families for allowing us to be here to honor them. I would also like to say a thank you to all of our veterans, whether it be past, present, or future. We will never forget what you do to defend this great country. So on behalf of the North Dakota Patriot Guard, to take with them also to the Capitol, we have a North Dakota Patriot Guard flag also.
At this time, I ask Chaplain Finger to provide the benediction.
It was once expressed that the Capital Region, its institutions, its values, represent a city on a hill. It was coined by John Winthrop and picked up later by President Ronald Reagan. It is this city on a hill that we are called to defend. It is this city that can be and has been a beacon of hope to this nation and to the world. And so give us the courage and the strength to reflect this light to the nation, to be a beacon, and let God's light shine on us tonight and always. Go and be that light.
Thank you to our distinguished guests, family, and friends of the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment for making this remarkable send-off for our soldiers. I invite everyone to stay and wish those well that are deploying. Let's have one more applause for the unit. This concludes our formal ceremony. Please stand for the departure of the official party. Thank you for coming, everybody.